Yeah, last but not least, we had GameFi, we had DeFi. I guess now it's the party for NFTs. So hey, folks, happy to have you guys here, Matt and Dan,
Yeah.
the gang
Thanks.
of BS.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Steve.
yeah.
I just want to say thanks very much to Dora Hacks and Binance Labs for all the help that you guys have given us thus far. It's been an amazing journey. We've still got a couple of weeks left. So, you know, you guys do an amazing job behind the scenes, and I highly recommend anyone getting involved with Dora Hacks, which has the largest developer community in the world. So by all means, you know, utilize those services. They're really, really quality, really good. So I'm joined, thankfully, by Dan, who's our CTO, who's going to be taking the second half of our presentation. Did you have any questions for us before we kick off, Steve?
We're good to go. Thank you for your kind words. You got 20 minutes, so yeah.
20 minutes. We'll do our best. We've got a lot to show, so hopefully we can get through it all. So I might just see about sharing my screen. And so hopefully you guys can all see that. Yeah, awesome. So the first cab off the rank, we have a new website coming, which kind of re-illustrates the new things that we're putting together based on a refined, more compliant model. So it's been a bit of a journey for us. And we still have the ethos very much of supporting other communities with other projects and what some people might call shitcoins. We're going to call them much loved altcoins. And so we're still very much driving towards this ethos of supporting those coins, supporting other NFT projects, and building what we're terming, you know, a player-owned economy. So the player-owned economy is essentially what the metaverse should be driving towards. And the real value of the metaverse is going to be compounding network effect and creating these new layers for people to run different business models on. So if you think about where it's going ahead, which is probably answering a question that Steve's going to ask me later, it's all about what the guild activity is going to do. What are they going to build towards? So I think what we're going to have is something more kind of consistent with something called G Sports, which is like esports, but for guilds. So you'll have all of these different guilds competing against each other and trying to be top rank on all the best metaverse type games. So this is our new site that we're putting together. It's not quite finished, but I'm just going to kick off with our teaser here, which gives you a bit of an idea about some of the cinematics and the quality and the fidelity we're putting together at the back. But obviously our games, at least for now, are going to be low polygon. So we'll kick it off. So yeah, that's a very small snippet of the cinematic that we're putting together. And the new website, it will be rolled out expecting next week, which is a much more simplified version of the site that we've put together. And it has our new roadmap, which we will go into very soon. But the other thing that I wanted to share just briefly was also our community. So our community is really, really involved with us in what we're doing. We have 6,700 members in Telegram. And in terms of Discord, it's also quite active. We've got, last check, I think it was around about 9,000. Someone is going to correct me very soon, I'm sure. But we really value all of the comments, all the feedback from our community across what we're building towards. And speaking of which, what we're actually trying to do essentially is build a gaming multiverse, which is in part developed by us in-house through our highly experienced game development team that have worked on AAA titles all across different genres and platforms, as well as other game developer studios who will be building out different offerings for us and with us. So the whole concept is to build out this multitude of games and provide an NFT ecosystem that leverages those games And the earning component allows you to upgrade all of these different NFTs in different ways. So you have apes that can be used as character. You can level them up. You can breed them. You can also create power-ups, and you can make items. So there's various different ways that you can attack the ecosystem per se. And I think that's what makes us really quite different, is that through these different tokens and mechanics that we have available, we can really adjust the meta. And we can use things like our Gamester NFTs that Dan will talk about a little bit later to specifically target different portions of those NFT holders based on their attributes to promote community competitions, different reward structures, events, and all these different types of things that involve the community on a different level. So I think that's one of the things that's really unique about us. We can also utilize other NFT ecosystems and bring them in and use those NFTs as boosts in our games to create entirely new different mechanics and offerings. So if we have a quick look at our deck, we've prepared a few things. So I have just gone into our introduction, which is basically we're creating an open metaverse that leverages a gaming multiverse to integrate innovative NFTs to drive a diverse and dynamic player-owned economy. That's really, really clear. But what our mission is to become the #1 gaming metaverse. And we have very strategic plays that are happening in the background through all of our various discussions with the greater network, through Binance Labs, all the VCs, all the strategic partners that we're speaking with at the back and organizing our future. So the future is bright. And in terms of who we are, we have quite a significant team already. So this is our full-time team that's based on the founders across the top left here, our design, development, and marketing team all in one. So just in terms of full-time, we have a few other people on the full-time team, but this is just design, development, and marketing as it stands. So wonderful groups of people, very spirited, enthusiastic, great culture. Every one of them is supporting us on our journey and building towards what we're looking to develop and implement as a short, medium, and long-term vision. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't mention our fantastic community management team, which this is just our core community management team. We have we also have a lot of other people that pitch in here and there just to sort of cover different areas as we progress. We have a really big team full of amazing people, and these guys are where the rubber meets the road. And I always do my best to thank them because this is where the player feedback really comes in, and these guys are where the rubber meets the road. So they're the first to tell us what's happening with what's going on in the project, and all of the different things that we should be keeping track of and looking at. So the other thing that I did have to show is, based on our beta, we actually have been able to get some pretty good feedback through the surveys. So I'm just going to look through this really, really quickly. We've been able to define essentially what has been working and what needs to be improved. And no product is perfect at a beta level, which is why you need player feedback. You really need to analyze what's going on. And through our network of people who can assist us on the data level, we've been able to do some sentiment analysis on all of the topics. So if you're familiar with our project, in order to essentially gain the reward structure from completing the surveys 4 and 5, you needed to fill out quite significant feedback based on what you thought about the game experience, and the alphas and wilds, the mechanics, all those different things. And the feedback that we got actually was, remarkably positive, even at that stage. In the game, essentially at the beta level, it's quite rudimentary. We were able to get out, pretty much just a basic sort of solidified concept of the base version we wanted to roll with. But this has been able to give us really valuable feedback in order to decide what our next direction is and has been. So moving on to the next iteration of what we're actually going to be rolling out, we have 2 entirely different game modes that have been designed by myself and Dan and built with some of the other guys to assist the mechanics and stuff. And it is a significant leap based on the existing beta as it is now. So with that being said, I might actually pass it over to Dan. Oh no, actually, sorry, I haven't shown the roadmap. Please excuse me. Where we are headed, this is the important part for you guys to understand, because we have not revealed this in public just yet. See if I can zoom in just a little bit more so you guys can see what we're doing. So the revised roadmap, as seen for the first time by everybody. I hope you enjoy it. I'll stay on this page for a little while so you can get your little screenshots out. So what we've actually done is we've done our Genesis. This is already complete. All of these things are finalized. In the construction phase, which is Q1, which is where we are, this is what we're currently building. So we have a brand and info refresh, which is nearly finalized. Dan can tell you exactly when the NFT launchpad is going to come out. In combination with the gamified banana farming, which applies directly to apes and leveling them up, which goes alongside our ape character, which is the Genesis Mint event. The marketplace is not far off as well. The guys at the back are really smashing that out, so I'm really excited about that. And then we also have a full game release with the NFT integration, the game awards, and leaderboards. So this essentially comprises, the first iteration of our full ecosystem coming together. So we'll have several different game modes that are quite different for our 1 versus 1 PvP. And then as we sort of progress through the different stages, there are a lot of different things that start to be added in terms of different types of NFTs. We have our Metaverse Adventures game release. We have tournament mode beta. We also have power-ups in Q3, which I'm really excited about. And then, of course, different game releases that incorporate into the Metaverse Adventures progressive. So there's a lot to come. We're constantly looking at ways that we can get more out of what we're doing and expand our team with more expertise. And basically, the sky's the limit. In terms of what we're actually able to produce with the people that we have on board. I was actually very privileged today to test out the new mechanics for the God mode that I created for the battle mode. And it's a really fun and exciting game. So I'm excited, genuinely, about our future with all that we can offer. And the roadmap, I'm really happy with it. Dan's happy with it. And all of the elements that we have coming together with our technical constraints and with our products layering in over the top, I really think that we're laying the foundations for an amazing ecosystem with brand placement, with all of these different leveraged and compound network opportunities for different projects to be involved and integrate with. So where we're heading is an amazing direction, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for the project, for our community, and everyone who gets involved. So with that, I might just pass it over to Dan to take lead on the second half of this. And Dan, I'll just stop sharing and you can take the ball and run with it.
Thanks, Matt. Cheers for that. Okay, so here I'll just do a quick dive into the tech. I notice we're really running short on time, so I'll try to keep it quick. So right here we have the token. Now, there's actually an article that was released a while back, kind of discussing the utility around the token. But the important thing to note is that we're trying to really build out the BAS token and its utility in order to truly scale with the games that we create and with the kind of players we bring on. So there's a lot of utility. There's governance. The token actually has a booster mechanic in game. So players who have a lot of BAS will be able to level up faster and level up their NFTs. There's tribe staking to basically allow tribes to pull together their BAS and utilize that boost mechanic together. NFT minting and scrapping, which is an important aspect where every time an NFT is created within the BASverse, BAS goes and acts as collateral behind it. And then over time, once you're done playing with it or the item is out of meta, you can actually scrap it and get your BAS back. And then the secondary services like the NFT Launchpad that Matt mentioned. So right now we have the Gamesters out. This is our kind of premium pass to the Block Ape Scissors ecosystem. This means that it allows you to play the better rewards program, which is what I am quickly going to demo right here. So if you have a Gamester, you can come over to gamesters.blockapescissors.com and you can pop in your wallet address here with your Gamester and quickly deposit. First, we have to approve the smart contract. So right now, as our community knows, the beta rewards program is paused due to some issues we had, especially relating to botting. However, this program is essentially going to be how we get the feedback, which Matt showed earlier. And as we release more games, we're going to keep doing them. We're going to refine the formula a little bit, but the idea is that Gamesters will be able to keep playing these betas. They'll be able to keep offering us feedback, which we'll then use to improve games. And this is how we're going to release out BAS over time. So here, as you can see, I've deposited this champion. And now I can go here where I can come to beta.blockapescissors.com, which is our game, and I connect my wallet and authenticate. Here we go. When I click play, I won't jump into a game right now, but as you can see, our NFT pops up, and it actually also pops up in game. So right now we just have the battle mode, and that's that. Let's just jump back here. So what's special about these Gamesters? Well, a big element to developing on blockchain really is it's evolving so fast that we have to be very agile, but at the same time, everything you develop and put out in terms of smart contracts is immutable. So we spent a lot of time studying the foundations of the digital assets we made, the Gamesters, and we'll be doing that with all the digital assets we put out. And essentially, we've encoded the metadata in the smart contracts, and then we've used Chainlink VRF to randomize that metadata. This is very powerful. As Matt mentioned, it allows us to build other smart contracts that target these different traits. We haven't yet put this into use. However, the point is that we can, and we're not limited by digital assets that we may have put out before. For example, we can basically build a lottery, and you stake your Gamester, and then basically when it randomizes, it gives rewards to everyone with maybe a cigarette attribute or maybe a Bitcoin earring. These are just some examples. The player ecosystem. So there's going to be NFTs, there's going to be tokens, and then there's leaderboards. Let's focus on NFTs. Apes, items, power-ups, and land. These are concepts which are pretty normal across video games all over the place. However, we're just going to make them NFTs, and they're going to be player-owned. So they're going to sit in your wallet, and they're all going to be augmentable, meaning that we're going to use this dynamic way to encode metadata into smart contracts, and therefore, you can level them up over time by using our tokens. So this is where we have 5 tokens that you can essentially win whilst playing, and then use on the different NFTs in order to level them up or to mint new things. And then leaderboards, really, in order to create a good game, we need to have a very competitive atmosphere, and we need to have a meta which constantly evolves, bringing demand and supply for different items in the economy, really. The Block Ape Scissors game. So this is our first game, and it's Matt's idea, which is brilliant in my opinion, which is just taking a simple, universally understood concept like rock, paper, scissors, and creating a game around it. So really, it's brilliant because it allows us to attract a very big audience all around the world, and no matter whether you're very, very high social class, low social class, everyone can play rock, paper, scissors. And this is where we have to invent mechanics, and we've taken a lot of the feedback from the beta to kind of improve. And here you can see some of the work we're doing on newer concept art that we have. Metaverse adventures. This is something that we've had in the works and ties into that altcoin utility that Matt was mentioning. Really, it's key for us to harvest other communities and bring more players into BAS. And the way we're going to do this with a very experienced game team is we're going to find communities. We're going to discuss games and utility models around how their token can interact with the game. Then we're going to quickly develop and prototype games for them. and then we're going to clearly put them out there. They're going to advertise it to their community, and we're going to onboard players into BAS through some specifics that will be released later on. Secondary services, really, with the amount of demand that's coming out for blockchain, there's going to be a lot of studios and projects looking to get involved in crypto. And this is where it's key for us to essentially develop technology in-house and then outsource it. So, for example, through our NFT Launchpad, we're going to be using our expertise developed around NFTs to allow other projects to develop, very, very well thought out NFTs that can really, not just be used now or for purely art purposes, but really be useful over time, where they may be able to develop more complex utility models around them. And with that, over to thank you. I'll pass it over back to Matt, if he's still here. Okay. We seem to not be able to get Matt on, but anyways, I'd just like to thank everyone. And here there's a couple links for getting us here. Really, our community, the entire team. It's just been a very, very long effort. Okay, Matt's back. Maybe he has some last things to say. Okay. Looks like we're waiting on Steve. Sorry. Here we go.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Also, can you add Matt back on it again?
There we go.
Yeah. We're good to go. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one last thing is that we plan to do a hackathon through hackerlink.io, which is, of course, DoraHax's legion of supporters and developers that can help to bring about our very first version of the Metaverse wallet. So it's something that we're working towards. We're just starting to draft all the ideas, and I'm really, really excited about what we can sort of do with this. There's a lot of really cool things we can do with the UX that really focuses on what an NFT can do, what it's supposed to be doing, all of its available features, and implementing something that is a lot more fluid and really, really, meaningful for the community. I think that's really valuable. So, plus the hot and cold wallet technology that we can be lent from IBM, which will be really interesting to implement. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure Steve will keep everyone involved and informed, and so will we from our side. So.
For sure. Yeah. I guess I don't have further questions for you, but definitely I agree with what Matt mentioned. I guess NFT is moving to a programmable stage where programmable NFTs, we're adding new features, new ways to engage with NFT holders, traders, the community. I guess it's the biggest trend in 2022. We've seen punks, we've seen apes, and I guess we can find more interesting NFT projects like BAS in 2022 to achieve further success. So yeah, I don't have further questions for you.